Welcome back to the CTV News, and now to our interview special. In the spotlight is a teacher who has created a remedial program for children with reading problems. Francene Beharry is a teacher of theatre arts at the St. Aloysius RC Boys Primary School. She visited Calabash TV today for a chat on the program. Ms. Beharry is the creator of 758 Educate series, which is a reading program that remediates reading problems. She's also a teacher of theatre arts currently, and we're speaking to Ms. Beharry a little bit about her reading program that seems to be helping so many students. First, welcome to Calabash TV, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
So, give us a little background into the 758 Educate series.
Okay, as I entered teaching, I continued to be faced with many students who had problems with reading. Many of them within the year that they would have been with me, I was not able to rectify the problem using the same strategy for everyone. So I realized another strategy had to be used, something that was different. So that was the main reason. I had been concerned. Many kids had moved on, but that was a concern for me. And then later in my life, my son experienced something that caused him not to be able to read. How he started normal and great, and then everything changed, and so I had to find a way. So I was already eager to try something, and that spurred me on even more.
So a personal experience gave birth to this remedial reading program.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about what's involved in the program that would assist students in.
Okay. As most teachers are aware, when it comes to reading, you focus on consonant, vowel sounds, consonant sounds, vowel sounds, and sight words. But what I did is I aligned the consonants and the vowels and the sight words in a specific way so that the child starts from the bottom and goes up. I am very, the way my program is, it works, is that I also use the training we get in theater, because I'm an actress, and the training we get in theater in terms of pronunciation, I also use some of those factors, very, very important underlying elements in my program. So it's very different. I have to explain it to a person. Even though it's a teacher, it will take a little time to get accustomed to it. Yes.
So it is a different strategy.
It's a different strategy.
Are you able then to customize it to the different needs of the students that you interact with?
Yes, that's what I have to do, because, like I say, every student is so different. Also, the problem that is causing their reading skill to be hindered is always different. So it could be sickness. It could be a separation problem where somebody has left the family. There's death. We also have vision, hearing, and other physical problems.
So do you first diagnose the cause of the problem before you prescribe any kind of strategy for the students?
Okay, because I am not a special ed teacher, I am just a regular class teacher. And for now, for the past 4 years, I have been a theatre arts teacher. So for theatre arts, I've been focused on the reading, the material for poetry, for acting. So therefore, I know the specific training I have to do to get the child to perform. However, with the program, I am not able to diagnose a student. So many special ed teachers diagnose the student, and they're sending them to me, and some of the special ed teachers have requested that I train them to use the program, because they've used many different programs, and so since they're seeing the results that I am seeing, they're really interested, and I have trained some last July.
Still staying on the problems, based on those that I heard you list, beyond vision and hearing, which probably can be corrected with glasses and hearing aids, when you deal with these other psychological and emotional issues, I'm trying to understand how you
cope with it.
Yes.
For me, of course, when I begin my program, I always do this kind of contractual agreement with the child. I do not really allow them to write anything, but I keep boosting them at the beginning of every session that you want to become an independent reader. You do not want anyone to read for you anymore. So you're going to do everything I ask you to do, just how I asked you to do it, until you know you can pick up that book by yourself and nobody has to read it for you anymore. And that is the thing I use. So I'm not a special ed teacher, and the psychological issues are there, but I keep boosting the confidence. And so when the confidence is boosted, this child is asking for books, reading books, going everywhere there's literature, asking to read.
Is there any special age group that you cater to? Because, I mean, reading starts from a very early age. Do you find that there's early diagnosis of issues, or are you dealing with them much later?
Okay. I have some students who are at K level, and some of them, their parents have noticed that the child is not going as fast as the other siblings or as the other students in the class. So quickly they come to me. I will start working with the child, and then I identify for them if it is sight words that their child needs to focus more on. So I give them my list, the way I set it up, not the list that, that normally goes through the regular classes. So I use the Dolch list, which is the regular sight word list, but I have set it up in a specific way where you start from the bottom going up. And so parents sometimes have to they diagnose their children. They realize the problem very early. The older ones in the common entrance classes, the special ed teachers have been working with them. They know the child has had the problems. They know where the problems are coming from, if it's a physical or if it's a psychological problem. They still, some of them, the special ed teachers recommend that the parents bring the child to me. So I have people supporting me greatly in this program. And I just got some results from a special ed teacher that as she tested the child after I worked with the child, and she's seeing great results. Okay.
Great. As you said, speak to some of the experiences that you've had in terms of where you met the child and where
the
you
child,
got the child.
Got to. Well, for last month we had one of our biggest, testimonials where one of my special ed students, I had him for 1 year, and he just received 95% in phonics, which is my consonant and vowel sound. So he just received 95% in phonics in a regular class, doing a regular test, not a special ed test. And so his aunt, his mother, his father, everybody is so happy for him. So that's just one. We had a little girl who, although she wasn't, her reading was not very strong because she was not interested. Something was not making her interested in reading. So her mother was concerned because her brother is an A student. And so she came to me, and we started working. So we had the agreement, you're going to learn to read independently. Nobody will read for you after this. So then she started. And then as the program goes, the little games, all the little activities, and she came from a low B to an A. So her mother, of course, had to give her a prize, which most parents are like, I have to get a prize. They always have to get a prize for the child. After doing the program, they see the improvement. So far, we've been having a lot of parents. As a matter of fact, we're trying to collect the testimonials because they want to see that other children get help, with this program.
Based on your experience, and I didn't ask how long you've been in the teaching profession, but based on your experience, how prevalent is this issue of reading in our classrooms in St. Lucia? Okay,
I'll give you an experience. I entered a classroom, a common entrance classroom, and the teacher had a chart. I was looking for statistics, and she had statistics right there. She had a list of at least 14 secondary schools. And in the 14 secondary schools, to enter the first 5, you had to have above 60% That's the top 5. All the rest of the schools are below 60%, and some of them are even at 20%. We cannot continue to accept this. We have to try something. If somebody else has something that is working and it works just like mine, then I suggest they try it. But if we have nothing else, let us try this and let us see the results, because the parents and the teachers are presently signing petition. They're signing the petition so that we could actually test this in schools.
So are you likening the problem that we're seeing in the common entrance results directly to reading?
Yes, a lot of the problems. Even mathematics, I have a section where this term, I'm going to focus on some mathematic words, because many times the children are not familiar with some of the words in the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Already they have a reading problem. Then you give them a mathematic problem, and there are some words in there that link to mathematics, and they're not familiar with it, and it makes it even worse. So if they like numbers, they might get the math problem. But if they're not good with the reading, then you cannot expect them to do the math well.
So you spoke about how you use your consonant blends and your sight words.
Yes.
Is there anything else that differentiates your program from the others that exist currently?
Okay. My program, because of my theater experience, is an underlying element. My program starts with proper breathing. You cannot read properly, and if you cannot breathe, if you're not breathing in the right way. So then we look at posture, because you want the correct volume projection, and we also want correct pronunciation. If you look at a baby, when the baby starts speaking, usually the first word is dada. And some of the mothers get upset because they're wondering why dada, but it's because the child is just stretching that mouth to give it the exercise it needs before she could say mama. Mama is more controlled because the mouth remains closed, but dada allows your mouth to stretch and exercise. So the mothers need to understand the baby's just exercising the mouth, so we shouldn't take that personal, you know. But so it's necessary for the child to do the breathing, the correct pronunciation. One of the factors, we normally start children reading using short vowel sounds, as in a and e. Like we will start, some people start with the cat sat on the mat. Your mouth is too controlled at that point. You need to exercise your mouth, so you need to do the long vowel sounds, which will be a in age and ape. So after you've done that exercise, and the E sound, the long E sound and the I sound, your mouth has exercised, and now you're ready to do short sounds. But for years, we've always started with apple and bat, and the cat sat on the mat, and our mouth is controlled.
So you flipped
We're
that
not
a
ready.
bit.
I flipped it around immediately.
Okay.
Yes.
So the theater coming into the program here.
Right.
Talk a little bit more about that.
Okay. Now, where the theater comes in is when the child starts to read my sentences, I allow them to read it with different expressions. So then because you cannot be reading in monotone. Okay? So now your vowels, your consonants, your sight words are coming in. You're reading the sentence, but it's time to say the sentence give it the expression that needs to come with it. So in the end, the expression comes in. It doesn't really come in the end, you know. It's just as they read the sentence. Sometimes I would say, okay, today we're going to read this. We're going to read like we're angry. And then they're going to read it. I went to the park. And it comes out differently. And another day we're going to read it like we're surprised. I went to the park. And then it comes out differently. So your expression is very important in reading. People will not listen to somebody who's reading a monotone. It's very boring. It's annoying even.
and boring.
Yes.
So isn't that there is a different level of excitement, of intrigue in the way that these students are learning to read that probably engages them more?
I think so. I think with the element of theater arts and allowing you to express yourself and allowing you to to go into the realms of your emotions and your expression. I think that is a major factor. Yes. I also have games that I show the teachers, that after you get those vowel sounds, after you get those consonant sounds, and the sight words, there's a lot of sentence repetition, which I notice a lot of writers use in beginner storybooks. A lot of repetition. Basic example, you know the story of Little Red Hen, and every time every time you turn the page, Little Red Hen would ask the same animals. She asked the dog, she asked the cat, and you keep repeating that. They said no. She was going to do something else. She asked the dog, she asked the cat. They said no. So that repetition is very important, but you allow the child to express it in different ways, you know.
Is your instruction then individualized, or do you do groups? Do you always have to do one-on-one, or can you do group sessions with students?
Right. I do the group sessions when I'm doing consonant sounds and vowel sounds, because everybody has to review that. Where I individualize is with sight words. Some children are already able to say words, say and spell words like at, it, and we. Some have passed that, so they're having problems with the consonant and vowels, but they're good with the word when and where. They're already on the 5-letter, which I call it the 5-letter sight words. So they're at a level that, you know, they could read bigger sight words. So for the sight words, I find out where make you go through my list. I find out where your strength is in the sight words, and if I realize you're at 2-letter sight words or 4-letter sight words, these are the ones we focus on. Make sure you get that strong. Get to the next level, 5-letter. Get to the next level, bigger words like yesterday, altogether, although. After we master that, and the whole group can do consonant and vowels together. But when it comes to sight words, I have to know what level you're at.
How many students do you generally have together at the same?
For this for this term, I have reached a very large number of at least 22 students, and that's a lot. And we're talking about 22 students who cannot read well. So that's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of energy, rest, vitamins, exercise, you name it. It has to be done. The excitement has to be there, because remember, I'm seeing them after school. So I have to take a little breather and get myself boosted.
Energy levels.
Yes, get myself boosted. And for some reason, I wouldn't say for some reason, the reality is just to hear the results, the thought excites me, because 3 o'clock in the afternoon you're tired. But to know that these kids are going to come back just like the others and say, I read this book and I read that book, and mom is going to say, I have to buy this book for the child, you know. And that makes me know that I know it's working, so I get the energy immediately, and I go to class and we start working.
How long is the session for those students?
Of course, because of the attention span, the session is usually 1 hour. Of course, the lower levels, infant, they could do 40 minutes. They could do, but they stick with it. Sometimes they talk the most, the infants, you know, and they're calling out the words, and then we're playing the games, and they're in it. They just, like, I find for the hour, they're able to hold.
Okay.
Yes, but the older ones, they can do the hour. They're fine.
Are you doing this alone currently?
Currently, I'm doing it alone. I have trained some teachers last July, infant, primary, secondary, some special ed. They do it as best as they can. Some of them focus on one section, for example, sight words. Some of them focus on one section. Some of them do the whole thing. Unfortunately, I think we need more time with the training. So, but they're still giving me good results. They're still giving me good results. So they call me, I want to sign the petition because we have to do this, you know. So it's really positive.
So tell us about the petition.
Okay, so there's one petition for parents to sign, and some parents say they'll bring all their relatives to sign because the children are reading, and all the relatives can, you know, they can testify to that. You have another another petition for infant, primary, secondary teachers. Some who have met, some who've heard of me, some who are hearing about the results, and they're just very interested in joining me in this movement, because I have to call it a movement. I cannot do it by myself, and I'm so happy that people know the problem exists and they were really hungry for something different.
So I still want some great explanation. So you're looking for a change in the curriculum, you're looking for them to adopt the program. What is it that you're asking, and of whom are you asking that?
Okay, so I'm hoping, I believe it's imperative that we test this program out in the schools, so that we test it out and we look at the results. Okay, I have no problem with a teacher coming to say, okay, I did it this way, I find this way works better. That's fine, but let us test it out, because it's been working for 4 years. This is the 4th year. It's been working for 4 years, and some parents who for unfortunate reasons had to take their children out of class are calling me to send the children back because the children have gone down so low. So they, please, can you take him back, because he was doing well, but I had to take him out. She was doing well, but something happened, and you know, maybe we traveled, something happened. So the hope is that with the petition, I could take it to the ministry, and the ministry could say, we need something, we need a change, and so let us test this out. I don't know how many schools they would want to test it out. It could be 2, it could be 3, but when they see the results, I am certain that they will give it a chance.
Have you documented in any way the results, so that somebody else could come and look at it and chart and sort of make a report from that?
Yes. Presently, I am getting the testimonials from the parents. So you want like actual video, you know, the videos. It could be on their phone. The videos from them, from parents, from relatives, talking about what, and the children talking about what they learned, what happened for them after the program. Sometimes the change happens in 4 months. I've seen the change happen in 4 months, where a boy was reading Ladybird level 1 in February. When we hit May, he was reading Ladybird level 4 in May. That is because he was close to my home. I was working with him constantly. Big change. Okay, so people noticed, his relatives noticed, you know. So I'm really hoping that it can be tested out, because we need a change, seriously.
Okay, so outside of the education system, for you personally as the creator of this program, where do you see yourself going with this?
Okay, so when the ministry accepts this idea, I hope that I can train the special ed teachers. I know a lot of them are overwhelmed. They are overwhelmed. They have diagnosed the child's problem. The problem may be fixed, and sometimes they need that help, because some of the children have already reached, you know, past 10 years old. So I'm hoping that I could train the special ed teachers, the infant teachers as well, because that's where the reading begins. Actually, it begins at home, but the infant teachers need it a lot. I also have some primary school teachers, preschool teachers who have asked me to come in and just give them a heads up and explain how to just do the sounds. Because for the consonant sounds, I start with consonants. My consonant section is divided into 3 parts: consonants with 1 sound, consonants with more than 1 sound, and consonants that are silent. Right? So that's silent letters. So that's a consonant section. And the vowel section is, of course, long vowel sound first, short vowel sound after. That's not how it has been done for a long time. So that I changed as well. And my sight words, I start you at the 2-letter sight words. And as you get stronger, you do all my activities. As soon as you get stronger, next level, next level. And for the boys, it's like a video game. So I'm on level 4. I pass you, I'm on level 5. So it's wonderful to see the boys. And you know, we always said, girls read faster than boys. It has always been said that way. And so the key factor for me, I was really thinking about the boys. Because boys, I teach boys in an all-boys school, and they're very sensitive. And when things affect them at home, their learning immediately is hindered. So I kept thinking of the boys and what is the easiest way. So a lot of the things I tweaked in the back of my mind, oh, boys will like this. Boys will like this. Okay. Yes. So I know once the boys get it, girls will get it too.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I wish you every success with your program. It sounds very exciting, and it sounds like it can assist students who have issues with reading. So thank you for being here with us, and we'll keep in touch to find out what is happening with your remedial program.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that definitely more teachers, will show their interest, and I'm willing to help, willing to just the results. I just love hearing the results, honestly. So anyone who's interested, they can contact me at the school.
At the
St. Aloysius RC Boys Primary School Theatre Arts teacher.
Thank you so much, Francene Beharry, for being with us here on the interview segment of the CTV News.
Okay, thank you.
Stay tuned to Calabash TV for follow-up interviews and features on the 758 Educate series created by Francene Beharry. That concludes our news package tonight. I am Natalie Pants. Good night.